All right, so Freaking Cool here is with Satellite City. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Good.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for joining the show. So I just got done listening to your new track, and I want you guys to tell me all about it there. I know there's a lot of different topics that you're reaching into this. I like the fact that it's like an AR based type video and AI and the VR and all the bullshit. You know what I mean? Tell me what it means to you.
Yeah, so the song we wrote it about mental health, obviously. Just we were dealing with stuff at the time and we used the song and the lyrics as kind of just a way to express ourselves and hope to, other people for other people to watch the video as well and kind of relate to it. So the director's idea was to have something called like cerebral reality, which like she made up this idea of like a theater where people put on these goggles and they see their anxiety projected in front of them. And there's something in therapy called exposure response, that when you're afraid of something, you face that fear and you expose yourself to that fear. So we were kind of using that like form of therapy uh with like a fictional
Visual concept.
fictional like concept of like a theater where you can actually go in and see that. And the concept of the video was, after all these people went into the theater and saw the anxiety that they had, their fears like projected in front of them, they were able to face that and overcome it and leave the theater feeling okay. So I really liked her idea because it told the story of the song in like a different way, but it also like got the same like idea across.
And it's also skills that we use in therapy. It's called exposure response prevention, ERP, they call it, which is a subcategory of cognitive behavioral therapy.
Okay.
Uh, and essentially, it's literally doing the same thing, is repeating the actual fears that you have on purpose or bringing it up on purpose, so you expose yourselves to it, so you get desensitized from those fears. So I resonated a lot with that concept because I use that exact same skill in therapy.
Are you a therapist or are you the one getting therapy?
I was diagnosed with OCD, so that's how I learned how to use these skills.
Okay, cool. So, like, when you have OCD, that's, I'm not being ignorant on the fact, but it's like you got to touch it a couple times, or what is that with you?
That's the OCD type that's shown a lot in movies and media.
Right.
And that's only like one subcategory out of like 30 or like
Okay.
40. Mine is more, it's called pure O, which is the obsessions are only in my mind. I don't have physical compulsions where I need to like touch a doorknob or wash my hands. My compulsions would be like substituting the images or substituting thoughts in my head that come up that like freak me out. And then the point of it is not to do those substitutions, not to do those compulsions. So you expose yourself to the actual fear, let your anxiety go up, and be okay with that. So you desensitize yourself from it, if that makes sense.
Cool. That is cool.
Mhm.
So I like the fact that this is something you've gone through and you go ahead and you translate it into your music and then you go ahead and show the video. That's
Sure.
a very
Mhm.
cool thing. Now this is, your video is almost like what they're striking in Hollywood about right now, almost, right? And we don't want the AR bullshit taking over.
Yeah.
For sure. I feel like there was like an element of like cool to use the AI though, you know? Um I, I feel like it shows a different medium of art, and it's different, like making your whole like, I don't know, your album artwork AI or something like that, you
Yeah,
know?
we're definitely for the artists. I think if it's a tool to help you
Tell a
tell a
story.
story or make, especially for us, the level we're at, we're working on an indie budget. So like to be able to have those AI tools to create this kind of these visuals, we our animator like used it to his advantage, and he was able to like, I don't know if you saw some of the scenes, but like
Hmm.
some of the AI characters are like mouthing the words and stuff, but he acted all of that out. So we still use people and artists to create the AI, but um yeah, definitely it's a controversial topic right now, the
Yeah, for
AI.
sure.
Yeah.
Do you guys got the headsets? You guys play with them on your own or no?
Oh, those are like literally just like I think they were
No,
like snorkeling goggles.
I meant like
Oh,
Oh,
VR.
VR.
yeah.
I've actually never messed with, I
I
think.
think your brother-in-law had one,
Oh
and
yeah,
we messed with it at his house.
we
That's
we
pretty
just put
cool.
them on once, but yeah, I've never really dived
I'm
into
curious
it.
about the PlayStation version of that.
The new one, right? The
Yeah,
for the PlayStation 5. Yeah, I have the PlayStation. Well, I don't play the shit. My kid plays it. I
yeah.
bought him the PlayStation 5 and I got him the original one to hook up to the before that it came out. And that sucks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it wasn't fun. So we bought the Oculus here, the Meta, and
Nice.
I don't know. I heard it's fun. I got to play for about maybe 10 seconds before I was told I was too stupid to to use it. Come on, Dad, you're not doing it right. I was like, ah.
Years ago, we went to like it was like a music rental place, and they had a headset where it was like VR drums.
Oh my God, I
And
remember
they
that.
were like, "You want to try it?" And I was like, "Sure." And this was like way before like the VR trend was a thing. It was so weird playing drums on like a fake like VR kit. Like I hope that's not like how people start learning how to play their instruments,
Where we're headed.
but it was cool, I guess.
Well, think of how many people learn how to play guitar by doing the guitar
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 Hero.
Hero,
Hero,
Yeah,
right?
uh-huh.
Yeah.
for
I
sure.
feel like it definitely inspires people to play the instrument, but you don't learn how to play it like
Well, yeah, you're
that.
never gonna be, you're not pushing buttons for
Yeah.
sure.
There was a new one that came out, which was it let you plug your guitar into, I don't know if it was the console or what, and you played like your actual guitar with the Guitar Hero notes and stuff, which was cool.
Oh, that'd be real cool. Yeah, for sure. Well, get something out of it. If you're gonna be sitting there for hours playing games and shit, you might as
Yeah,
well.
exactly. Yeah.
So with you two being husband and wife, do you guys bounce off each other for ideas for songs and stuff?
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Always, yeah, for sure.
I feel like the writing process is usually like we write the best when we're together, and then we also like sometimes have ideas individually and then bring them together. But
For Anxious Hearts specifically, that song, Anna just had lyrics. She had just written lyrics and some vocal melodies, and she came by me and she showed me. I was like, "That's great."
I think I wrote that in the shower,
And
like just the vocals and the lyrics.
so it was like my responsibility to try to write the guitars over it. So she would sing a line like 10 times until like I found something that like works. Um, and sometimes I'll bring a guitar idea and she'll write the vocals on top of that. So it definitely varies.
Now, what are you gonna do the day when you hear the lyrics for a song and it's something like, I'm leaving you, you bastard.
I'll definitely ask, like, is
You're like,
everything all
what?
right? Oh, like, we're good.
What's this about here? God damn it! So,
um,
being husband and wife and being in a band and being working together like that, does it ever get to be a little bit too much?
I mean,
We get this question a lot.
we
I feel like
we're more on the same page than we're not.
it's almost easier that we're like partners in this, and we're not like, I feel like sometimes in certain bands there's like this competitive energy or like egos that get in the way, and when you're husband and wife, you hope that that's not a problem that you deal with in your marriage. So just being like equal partners and like respecting each other.
Open to all ideas all the time. You know, it's important to be that way.
Obviously it's hard to like even like working together like constantly, like whoever you're with, obviously that comes with like just trying to navigate through like not annoying each other too much or like just spending so much time with each other. But we try to find that balance, and I definitely feel like it works better for us than like a traditional band where it's a bunch of different members kind of
I've been in a traditional band
fighting
setting,
over topics
and
and
it's
stuff.
been really difficult for multiple bands that I've been in. So this definitely works better for me and us, I think.
For sure.
So, what made you want to be the drummer and the singer? I mean, usually when you're a singer, you want to be right out in front. What were you
Right.
Genesis for?
Yeah, so um I I first started as a drummer when I was like younger. I started playing drums, and then when I met Sean, uh, I was kind of dabbling a little bit on like an acoustic, writing some like singer-songwriter type of stuff, and started singing more and showing him that stuff. So like singing came a little bit later for me. Um, and we at first we were auditioning for drummers because we didn't think that it was like possible for me to do both,
Right.
honestly. We thought it would be really tough, which it is. Like I still write a lot of my drums and vocals around each other, but we just couldn't find a drummer that worked. And Sean was the one that really like pushed me to like just try to do both, because I don't know, we were just like not vibing really with. We also like, since it was the two of us, we were kind of like it should be like our project. So a few different reasons, but yeah, it just ended up kind of happening naturally.
After I convinced her, I was like, let's give it a shot, see what happens.
For sure. Now, when you guys are live, where does your drum set go? Is it in the back traditionally, or are you more in the front because you're the singer? You know.
Yeah, we put it in the front for sure. And then live, we have other players that play with us. They're like in costume. They're called spacewalkers. They're anonymous, so we like switch out players, get a bunch of different friends to play, and
Collaborate with us, yeah.
yeah, we just have them like on the sides, and then me and Sean will be like up front with the kid up front.
Well, that's definitely easy for photographers too. You know, I mean, you hardly ever get a shot of the drummer, but when you're the singer,
Right.
Jesus Christ. Now, speaking of your, you said they were skinwalkers. Is that what you said?
Spacewalkers.
Spacewalkers. Sorry about that. You guys actually have a comic book that you're basing on them.
Yeah, we've been writing this for like 4 years now. We wanted to do a 4-part comic series. So we started doing that. We actually finished the first issue, and then we wrote a concept EP, 4 songs that goes along with each issue. And we recorded that with producer David Bottrell, who's worked with some of my favorite bands, Tool, Muse, Coheed and Cambria, Mastodon. And we recorded that last year or the year before, I forgot. Last year.
Yeah.
It was probably one of the like funnest experiences we've had as musicians so far, because just felt like we were really, doing the thing that we love. And yeah, we're gonna release that next year with the first issue, I think maybe in the summer. So we're excited about that.
So when you get the comic book, do you get the tracks with it? I mean, is it going to be a CD or is it going to be a digital or something like that?
Yeah,
I think we'll do both. Yeah.
yeah, I think the plan is to have a QR code on the comic so you can scan it and listen to the song. But we'll have some physicals too, probably.
You know, it'd be super cool is if you kind of synced it up where you score the comic book, where you when you read it, you got to like type something in.
I originally wanted that. It's hard to figure out how to go about that, but that would be a great idea.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can't base off anybody's reading. You know, like a movie, you know it's going to be this, but what if you're retarded and you don't know? You know what I'm saying? You're like, you didn't get only on the first little frame, and they should be halfway through the book.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff you could do the base. That's a cool format there.
For sure.
And that's something cool because people can pick up at a show. Get a comic book and something to sign, and get a code that will get the music and stuff like that.
Different kind of medium. Some bands have done it. Back in the day, I feel like Coheed and Cambria has done something like that. Maybe Mike Hem Singer has done something like that. That turned into a Netflix show. What was that show? Umbrella Academy.
Right.
But we had forgotten that was the thing when we started writing it. We were just writing it because we like creative writing, and that was just another way to have fun creatively for us. And it just kind of became this whole thing that we didn't expect that was going to become that. So I'm really excited for people to check it out.
Now, besides the comic book, you're also writing a fantasy novel as well.
I'm attempting to. That's definitely starting off more as a hobby. I need to, I think, educate myself a little bit more on writing and read more before I like dive into it more. Right now, I'm just outlining the whole thing. But that's definitely an attempt for sure.
So, Anna, you work at Guitar Center, is that right?
Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
that help you out in the band where you're like, hey, I get that employee discount there?
For sure. I edit their videos, and it's really cool just being in that environment. Like, I editing's like my day job, but it's still like music related, so it's definitely fun. And obviously, yeah, have some perks of working in a music store. Always need music gear, so it helps out for sure. And they also offer like gig leave, so it's pretty cool.
That's real cool.
Yeah.
You become a product tester, so you can go ahead and take the stuff on the road with you for a little bit and say,
I
Right.
like that. I like that.
and then you could sell it for an extra value because it was musician used on stage.
I don't know about that.
So you do Muay Thai too, is that right?
I do. Just for fun, like fitness, you know, not professionally at all, but just just love, like, I guess it's similar to drumming in a way, because you're like kind of punching at it in a rhythmic way, and it's a different way of slamming at something and getting your aggression out. Clearly, I have anger problems. I play drums, and
Gotta
I
get it out.
box.
Just get it out.
But yeah, it's definitely a fun way to get some exercise in for me.
So are you running around punking your husband out too, trying to put him in the moves and
Put me in the headlock and just
We did like a class together once where we were sparring, but I feel like our height difference is too much.
vast.
He's a foot taller than me, so but it's fun for sure.
very cool. So are you guys planning on going on the road at all this year? I know there's a few shows I've seen booked, but is there going to be a full-fledged?
Not a tour this year, just a few shows. We are opening for Kofi Baker, Ginger Baker's son, in September 29th in Palmdale in California. And we have a big Halloween show in LA
In October.
in October 27th at the Paramount.
That's cool. So next year, do you plan on doing like full on out there, hitting the road up?
It depends on a few factors. I think we have a lot of releases. Aside from the comic EP release, we have another EP coming out next year. So if we can time it properly and if we can organize some good solid dates, that would be cool.
You know what you need to do when the comic book comes out? Start hitting up on all those conventions. You know what I mean? You can be there, meet the fans, sign stuff, and then you do a gig after the show. You make a side deal with one of the bars or whatever that's around there.
I had an idea to do like a comic book store tour, but that would be a little tough because the stores are so small, and like setting up a full band in a store would be tough. But if we could get like a crew that would come with us and help us set up, I think that would be really fun to like just go through different cities and like set up shows at different comic book stores. We've talked to a few local ones that were definitely like down to be a part of it.
If they have room,
It's
I
just
think
like
they're down. But
we want it to sound good too, so
yeah,
Right, right.
fun.
Yeah, it'd be super fun. I mean, I've never been in a comic book shop that's more, they're like little closets and shit around where I am here.
Yeah,
yeah.
we have some bigger ones here in LA actually, but there's they're definitely like a lot of them are closing, and
Maybe some like an acoustic performance if we can't pull off the whole electric,
yeah.
thing.
Play the rooftop. There you go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, whoever will have us.
So now there is a lot of talk going on where we might get into another lockdown. I don't believe it, but you know, with the news telling us every day, if that goes into effect, are you guys going to hold back your releases? Or are you guys still going to push strong and everything? I mean, now we're all experts on it. I don't know. We've lived through it once.
Yeah, I think just start releasing, there were a lot of bands who released through COVID, and I think that's fine because people were home listening to music. Um, we have too much material not to release at this point.
Yeah,
so.
I think we kind of, the reason why like we hadn't released music in a while, and we didn't release the comic book and the EP yet, is because of the lockdown and COVID and all that. So we're kind of done with waiting now, and we just want
It's a
to
lesson we
the
learned
music
from.
out there, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
I just still can't believe that's a crazy thing that we have to talk about. I mean, if my kid wasn't in school and they weren't, saying prepare for a potential this or that, I'd be like, it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't know. I think there's going to be too many people this time around that's not going to want to just sit in their houses.
I agree, for sure. For sure.
Because once you got that taste of freedom going back out there, I mean, I go to concerts and stuff, it's my living, but I can't,
Yeah.
When you're there around people, you just think how weird it was just a few years ago that we weren't allowed to do this. Now you go in a grocery store and someone sneezes in your face, and you don't think anything about it.
It's tough to
Yeah.
think we lived through that as a community,
So people are watching this, they want to follow up, they want to hear the new track, they want to figure out when new music's coming out, they want to get advanced copies of this comic book. Where do they go? What do they do for everything?
So we have our website, which is just satelliteciti.com, and like all our socials are on there.
If you want like updates, I'd say our Instagram, that's where we're updating almost every other day. That's instagram.com/Satellite Citi, CITI. And all our Spotify is also in our bio. Just got to click the link in the bio and we're all there.
Perfect. All right, guys, it was a pleasure speaking with you. I love the new track. I can't wait to read that comic book when it comes out, and hopefully catch you at a comic book store in the near future.
Thank you,
Awesome.
man. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, take care.
Take care, man.
Too. Bye.